Hello everyone, I'm Aya, you're in my YouTube channel and I'd like to talk with you about my book series. Why do I make this video? I'm not a writer, I haven't published a book and I do not intend to. I just want to share my experience and maybe inspire someone. My addiction to writing. I wanted to be a writer in childhood. In the fourth grade, I even wrote it in a book with all of my classmates. Also, my grandfather was a writer, and I'm just a real dreamy person. I often like to write. I tried to write fanfic about Draco and Hermione. Who hasn't, I don't know. Also, I wrote a lot of my personal books. I haven't wrote them, okay? I made characters, I gave them real story, a big behind story, background story. But I just never wrote more than 7 chapters. And today I would like to talk with you about the first time I wrote the whole book, a book series. Yes, it's not an original, it's it's about the Vampire Diaries. Inspiration. As I already said, it's Vampire Diaries, but when I watch a series, of course, I like the plot, I felt really interesting, and I wanted to be a vampire, why not? It's so great. I was addicted to vampires even before, but how did I get inspired? A friend of mine has gave me 3 different photoshops. First was with Cedric Diggory and me on the ball, second Tom Holland and me, and the third one was Ian and also me. My friend has taken my picture. She has taken picture of Ian Somerhalder and she has put my picture at Ian's face and made it transparent. And she saw and then sent me that we really look same, not same, but we have a little bit same sharp of our profile face. I don't know how to explain because it's difficult, but it's true. Really. And it was interesting for me. I thought, maybe I'm Ian's sister. And then I thought Ian is Damon in Vampire Diaries, and oh my god, I could be Damon's and Stefan's sister. And then my book, Salvatore's Sister, existed. But my personal tips for you, what can you use for inspiration? I have a whole video about it, so you can find a link everywhere or go search on my channel and you will find a lot of tips about inspiration. But how do I usually get inspiration for my books? Not just about scenes and just about the main topic. It's usually something not something random, for example, like with this picture, or sometimes I had some dreams, really interesting dreams, when I woke up and I understood that, oh my god, I should write a book about it. Inventing characters. This time, you can say it was like a fanfic. Maybe it's true because it's more about different fandom, about the Vampire Diaries, but I changed so much things in it. If you wanna listen about plot, it will be in the end of video. I just want to tell about it, but not to all of people. Some people won't like to listen to it, so it will be in the end. But of course, it's a very difficult topic. I can talk about it really much, but usually I have some questions, like really similar questions. I write about a name, surname, where does this person live, some little tips. Maybe you don't do it, but I'm the one person who likes psychology and astrology. And of course, to make the character is difficult, but sometimes I use horoscope signs to make a person more real. For example, This one girl is Tarus, and she's and also I used this MBTE test, so she's some personal for example INFG, if you're interested in, doesn't matter. So I just use different things. You can also use it for my characters, and I like drawing, so sometimes I draw my characters to understand how do they look like, to take my head and give them to a list. You can do the same. You can't, even if you don't draw, it will be okay. I just also don't draw very well, so doesn't matter. Finally, writing process. How do I plan my book? Planning for me is the most important thing in my life. You can also watch about it something in the other one my video, but what about planning? I'm just a planning person. Some people just like it. So if you're a person who always plans your life and you like to plan your life and to be organized, you can use such way. I do not plan every dialogue, but I just have a plan of things that will happen. You can find a lot of videos about it in YouTube, but I use such way. Chapter process. I have taken the music playlist. If you don't know what it is, it's just a playlist with music with some character. And I use it because when you're writing with some music on background, your characters are alive. You just listen to very hard, badass music and your character is killing someone or doing some chaotic things, and it feels really emotional. I really like writing with music, and this playlist, I started listening to the other one, but then I started doing my own playlist, so you can find my channel with a lot of them if you like. It's called Music Diaries. I like Vampire Diaries, okay? Which program do I use for writing? It's WordPad. Of course, you can make notes on your phone to write on Facebook or on paper, even everything you like, doesn't matter, but Word for me is really good because I try it in different ways, and in Word there is a correction of words and I have a lot of mistakes usually, so I like this program. It's comfort for me, it's comfortable, okay? acting our emotions. I have a really good imagination. I felt every word during writing. Sometimes I even got up and completely acted out the scene and only then described it. So, reference advice. It's difficult to describe things you've never done. To Google drugs or 19th century outfits is very helpful. I also sometimes used myself as a reference. For example, I described tango. What did I use for it? I watched a YouTube video, Googled dance character and new words as barida or corrida. I also tried to do it myself to describe my own feelings. I usually use such ways only in difficult things, but the moments I described in such thing, I just felt everything that characters must feel myself. So these moments came out very realistic and emotional. Miracle morning. The most productive moments in my writing life were when I read the book Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. It will help you a lot, even if you are not a writer. After reading a couple of pages, I was already filled with inspiration and lived my morning like a real millionaire. I strongly recommend you to read it. Book decoration. I wrote this book primarily for myself and about myself. Um, this character that was like me, but it was Salvatore's sister. It was vampire, so it was more confident and stronger version of myself if I was a vampire. But feedback was still important to me, and the only person who saw my imagination, my creation, was my friend. But she doesn't like to read, so for her, and then I understood that it's more for me, I started making photoshops and pictures for this book. You can see them on the screen, but then I realized that I really like to make them myself since I was doing design in parallel. I have made every picture like that between every chapters, so it was interesting experience. Also, you can see some books. So every chapter started with my own Photoshop, and it was interesting. I got into the role so much that I created whole photo sessions at my home with my alter ego. Therefore, the characters came out alive and very spelled out. You definitely won't do it, but because of it's unique, but I really like to do this. I really liked this process, so why not? While writing this book, I not only felt more confident, I felt good, I felt needed, I felt important, and it was like so much things are happening in my life. It's not true about myself, but I'm the one person who always sits in his room, but this book gave me so much experience, and it's not fake. I really felt it. I can't explain it. And yes, I learned to express thoughts better because of my writing progress. I also changed the plot of series that I like the characters, but I don't really like plot in Vampire Diaries. No, it will be wrong. Maybe, I don't know, like plot in 7th, in 8th season. It's a little bit boring and not happy for me. What about the originals? It's completely not happy for me. So in this book, everything was like I wanted, but in the end, by the way, some people died, and I also died. I don't know why, but it was a good final, but bad. Doesn't matter. I also learned Photoshops, and I had successfully made a new channel, Music Diaries, when I have a lot of subscribers that love my videos. One of videos even has 5,100 views, or something like that, and it's so good. I even help other people with inspiration, and I feel so good about it. And finally, plot. If somebody is still interested in plot of this book series, I would like to talk about this beginning. So, I woke up in a forest with no memory and met Caroline and her mom, Liz Forbes. We went to Caroline's house, and then I went to school. So it was something I haven't understood anything. I wasn't writing from the first sight. For me, it's strange, but this person, this Salvatore's sister, she hasn't known that she's a Salvatore before. She wanted to clean her room, and she has taken her ring off, and she understood that she's a vampire. And then she saw this ring on the other vampire, and she understood that maybe they are relatives. So this book it has a lot of pages and a lot of plot. But what about this this sister? In 1964, she knew that Catherine Pierce is a vampire, and she has told her dad that it's like that. But Stefan and Damon were so obsessed with her, and Damon, like a true lover, was really sad that she will be killed because of Sister, and Damon didn't really like Sister, only because of Catherine. No, not maybe only, because he hated me. He hated this Salvatore's sister, and he killed her. But no, she hasn't had any blood in her body of vampire. But her friend was a witch, and her friend was a really strong witch, a Bennett relative, and she has given the same power as Alaric had, but a little bit different. And this person, this girl, was killed by brother. When she will kill one person, then she would like to kill a vampire. And if she killed a vampire or 2 vampires, 3 vampires, she gets more and more strange. She starts hating everything. She wanted to kill all vampires because this girl, this witch, was a really good friend to Stefan. And when Stefan met Catherine, they stopped being friends, and she was so angry. Maybe then she understood that it's a fault, but the Salvatore's sister weren't in the city anymore. She met Klaus, and Klaus understood that it's the only one girl who is stronger than him, and he understood that they should be connected. The other one witch, Klaus's witch, she connected Klaus and this girl, this Salvatore's sister, and if one of them hurt each other, they will die both. I don't know, a little bit different, but it's hard to explain in 1 minute, or I don't know how much I will spend for plot. So during this book, during first 10 or 15 chapters, this girl is trying to know her, not her last. Firstly, she had a lot of arguments with Damon because when she heard, like Stefan and Damon were talking, oh my god, she's not dead. What is she doing in Mystic Falls? And then Stefan said that you killed her, Damon. What is she doing here? And then the Salvatore's sister understood that Damon did it, and she had some flashbacks a little bit, and she started hating him. They had arguments, a lot of arguments, because the book firstly was about Damon and his sister and their arguments, but then everything changed. Then Klaus came. It was really interesting moments when she hasn't known who is Klaus, who is Elijah. I won't tell you about every plot because it's long. It's 100 pages. But if you have watched Vampire Diaries, maybe you would like to hear which couples do I have in my film. So Damon is with Yelena. Yelena was with Stefan, but for me, Stefan is not so interesting as Damon. No, with Yelena. Stefan is interesting, like himself. And Stefan was with Rebecca a little bit, but not so much. Caroline is with Klaus. I'm with Elijah. Okay. So I just don't know. I have tried to make this video 3 times. I hope it will be okay because it's difficult to talk in 15 minutes. I don't know how long will this video last. 15, 20, 10, I don't know. It's really hard to talk in these minutes about half a year of things because there were so much interesting situations, so much interesting moments. I miss this time, but I killed myself, so I don't know. I have some chapters I haven't wrote, but it's different. I I love this time. So I hope you liked my video. You will write a great book if you want, or do everything you want. So have a nice day, have a nice weekend, have a nice life. Good luck, goodbye.